What's up, everybody? It's highly engaging content. I'm back from a long hiatus. Right, remember me from smash hits, such as that video you didn't watch, and that unwatchable thing I made that was bad. I'm here to talk to you about truck driving, and why you shouldn't do it. Because I just quit my truck driving job, probably the most challenging thing I've ever done in my entire life. So let's go down the list of the top reasons why truck driving is a bad, terrible job that you shouldn't do for any reason. First of all, this is going to sound ridiculous and foreign to you, but there's a clock. Okay, there's clocks in a lot of jobs, but this clock prevents you from working longer than 14 hours in a day. You might be thinking, that's crazy. I'm not going to work 14 hours. There's no way I'm going to work 14 hours in an industry that doesn't pay me hourly. You get paid by the mile. Why would I work longer than 14 hours? You're going to work 24/7. You're going to sleep in the truck. You're not going to take a shit when you want to. You're not going to take a shower when you want to. You're not going to eat the food that you want to. You can't do any drugs of any kind, which to each their own. You can't do it on your off time. You can't take a month off and do whatever you want and then come back, because they'll test you when you come back. I did flatbed truck driving. And flatbed truck driving is its own thing, man. So, you know when you see a traditional semi-truck driving down the road, right? It's a big rectangle on the back of there. Some warehouse employee shoves all that shit in there for you, and you just sit in there and look at your phone. Okay? That's not what happens with flatbed truck driving. A surly forklift operator shouts at you for your paperwork. You, no matter what temperature it is outside, no matter what you feel like, you have to get out and do about 3 hours of unpaid labor at each shipper and about 3 hours at each consignee, which is the delivery point. You only get paid for miles. And keep in mind that 14-hour clock is ticking down the whole time. So the unpaid labor, it does have one paid benefit. It's called tarping. And if you've ever done flatbed driving, you'll understand that tarping is not worth the money they pay you. It'll take like 1 hour to put the tarp on properly. And they pay you $50. My company paid me $50 per tarp. No, it's not worth it. I would rather not have that $50. Fuck, I thought about withdrawing $60 and having it on me at all times, because there's other truckers at the places that you load, and just offering to have them do it for me, because that's a better trade for me. The tarping thing was one of the reasons I quit. It was just too gnarly. The tarps are like 100. You have to secure these dangerous, sickeningly dangerous, deadly items that if you do it wrong, oopsie, you just died. That's the kind of thing that flatbed truck driving is. And I documented that if you're really, really, really lucky, you'll get out from a shipper at about maybe just over 2 hours. Absolutely back-breaking labor. There are so many liabilities. You have tons of legal liability in the form of, oh no, I just killed a family because I crashed into them. And then there's also, oh no, my cargo came off and it just crushed that car next to me. Now I'm going to prison for life. Or, oh no, I took a turn too wide and I broke that guy's legs. That actually happened to a guy at the company I was at before I got hired, and they told us the story of it, and now he's in prison for like 15 years. If you get loaded at a shipper and you're too heavy, the limit for my truck was 80,000. So if I'm 79,999, that's fine. The weigh station will say, good job. But if I'm 80,001 pounds, I get a ticket. And I get a ticket for each axle, okay? And from what I've heard, the tickets are around $800, $1,000 per axle. And I have to pay for that. I have to pay for that. Even if I say I quit, I still owe the Department of Transportation for those tickets. The company does not pay for those tickets. So whatever happens on the job is just your fault, basically. There's very few things that are not your fault, actually. Oh, another one. Parking. If you want to park for the night, I sure hope that you stopped your truck at 4 in the afternoon. It's like werewolves, dude. As soon as the sun goes down, all the spots are taken, and it's just, I got so cynical about it at a certain point where it was just like, oh, Oh, it's 6 o'clock. It'll be 6 o'clock by the time I get there. I have to, I have to eat into my drive time for tomorrow. So I'm going to want to drive maybe 200 miles today. I just got the load. I got to get 200 miles, 3 hours down the road today. And then boom, I look at the gas stations, and I'm just thinking, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, by the time it's 3 hours from now, it's going to be about 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to be about around here. Oh, around Cincinnati. Oh, that absolutely not. There's not going to be any parking. I slept on the side of the freeway. I slept on the side of the freeway like 7 times, and I only had the job for a few months. It's brutal out there, dude. You can run out of hours, have nowhere to go to sleep, and then a cop will knock on your door in the middle of the night and say you have to move. But then it's like, I don't have any hours. And you can technically move, but where are you going to go? As soon as the clock strikes 6 p.m., there's nowhere to. And rest areas, they're a little bit easier. They're a little bit less crammed. But if you're by any metropolitan area, any large city in the United States, there is absolutely no parking during demand hours. And also, this is during spring, summer. During the winter, it's really based on when it gets dark, because people don't like driving when it gets dark. I don't know why. I prefer driving when it gets dark, but I can't do that inverted sleep schedule because the loads I pick up, flatbed loads are like a daytime thing usually. Sometimes you'll be picking up late at night, but not usually. So you have to drive during the day, okay? And you have to sleep at night. And here's the thing. You can't take a shit on the side of the road, okay? So if you want to take a shit, you got to go to a gas station. And to go to a gas station, you have to park early. And to park early means you make less money. And if you do it too much, then they fire you. We got a call about your tarp. It's flapping in the wind. This is safety. You're going to need to fix that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just had diarrhea and I can't really see. But let me pull over and do that for you. And I couldn't do it, dude. I had to quit because I couldn't sleep. I had to do about 3 hours of loading. This is like 2 weeks ago, and this is probably the event that made me quit. I had to load this steel bar in Fort Smith, Arkansas, in the gnarliest rainstorm I think I've ever seen in person. And I just had to stand outside and do it because truck drivers are not people. You're different. Like, you're a different class of people, You're like the type of people that the Roman emperors would feed to lampreys. Man, I've been at blank company for 25 years, okay? I know that place you just got loaded at is hard. I'm gonna need you to fix that tarp. I'm gonna need you to pull over at the next safe haven. I'm gonna need you to fix that tarp. Because we got those tarpon pictures back, driver, and it's not acceptable. And they won't really give you a reason why it's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable, okay? But it's raining heavily and it's not getting wet. I'm looking at it. It's all dry and everything, and it looks fine, and it's not flapping in the wind or anything. Well, driver, we're going to need you to fix that because the lip of the tarp needs to be touching the flatbed exactly. Do you see those eyelets right there? You're going to need to pull over and look at those eyelets, driver. That's where the lip of the tarp needs to be on the beginning of the flatbed, driver. Thank you so much. Why didn't you use your 8-foot drop tarp? Let's see. Because it's 150 fucking pounds. Hey, and then here's another thing. The company I worked for was actually really nice. They were good. They were really not. I mean, I had a string of mishaps like 3 weeks ago that weren't my fault, but it was starting to be like, what's going on, dude? Just one thing after the other. I had a load shift, and at first I thought it was my fault, because it always is when it's a load shift. But then it turns out it wasn't my fault, because the material I got loaded with, like one of the braces was faulty, and it blew out on me. Very nice to me, okay? They were very professional and courteous, honestly. And even still, this was an insufferable, horrible experience. Like, look back in my old videos, dude. I don't look like this, okay? I used to have life in my eyes. And that has been snuffed out in the past, 4 months, man. In short, truck driving is terrible. It's a terrible, awful, horrible thing. It was bad, dude. So your entire life is going to be controlled. Check this out. You leave. You would think, at least I got the weekend, right? Monday through Friday, and then the weekend. Boom. No. There isn't a weekend. It's called a 34-hour break. You get back on Saturday morning, usually, my company at least, and then you leave on Sunday. So let's see. How many days a week is that? 7? You get back on Saturday. You worked on Saturday. Back on a Saturday, you have to drive for like 4 or 5 hours still to get home. And then you leave on Sunday, man. It sucks, man. It's a terrible piece of shit job. Now I feel like I'm just bitching about my personal. I feel like I could have filled this with so much more value, and I'm sorry for that. But if you're thinking about becoming a truck driver, you maybe do it for a few months to make some money, but don't do that to yourself, dude. Don't do that long term, dude. You deserve better, man. You deserve better. So become a truck driver? No.